you are one of the only analysts I see that really tries to educate the public about our rare earth element disadvantage, how much China has leverage in that area and why it's so critical and important. Can you maybe break that down simply for people and why it's important to pay attention to that and how it's influenced the tariff negotiations?
Yeah, I'm just standing on the shoulders of some giants that have helped me with that. I knew of the issue, and I knew it was a big issue. There's a great report. It's publicly available by a defense contractor or consultant called Govini, Govini. You can Google it. I think it came out last year, and it shows the U.S. defense supply chain across different ways they cut it, how dependent it is on China, and has been. And ultimately, one of the big ones is around these rare earths. Why is that? For some reason, our leadership and policymakers have built the greatest military in the world that literally gets 90% plus of, that needs these rare earth, and it's certain ones, and there's certain sort of military grade. It's not like, you can take something out of a refrigerator and stick it into a missile like they were saying the Russians were doing 4 years ago. It is very high market share to China. China's got not just, 50% of the mining or 60% of the mining, but they've got like 70, 80, 90% plus of the refining, depending on it. And it's even higher. Like gallium, China's got like a 98% share we highlighted last week. And
this stuff is in everything.
It's in like 11,000 different applications. And I've been told there's certain ones that are in basically every single missile application of the U.S. military across branches. And guess who basically the sole source supplier of like one of the key magnets is? China.
Yeah.
So that's why I've been on it as hard as I have, which is like it's not about sort of aggregate sizes of things. It's about bottlenecks, right? That's what do I always say? I read a lot of publicly available information. I'm looking for economic bottlenecks. If your missiles don't work, if your F-35 doesn't work without like this little thing from China, what do you have? You got a lot of expensive paperweights. So to me, I didn't do anything special. I just put myself in China's shoes. I pretended, hey, here's what they're doing to you. What would you do? Like, well, that's easy. Okay, boys, the rare earths, as of tomorrow, you got your last one.
Yeah. We weaponize the dollar. They can weaponize these rare earths, essentially.
Yeah. And let's see who runs out first. And to me, it was so crystal clear, especially given the de-dollarization of China's commodity imports and, Russia helping them. It wasn't even a choice. Like we were going to run out first. It's not even close. So it creates enormous leverage. And, there's other factors to it. Like I've been told that China has universities 35 different universities that have rare earth engineering degrees. America has 0. And to understand, like these are not things that you wouldn't, if they came out and said, Luke, they're going to put in a rare earth element refining facility in Lorain, Ohio, which is like 10 miles upwind of me, I would sell my house tomorrow and move. Like this is not stuff you want by yourself. And so I understand why it happened in that way. And like if your job was the national security of the United States, like what were you doing the last 15 years? Because by the way, the Chinese weaponized rare earths against the Japanese in 2010. So this isn't like, oh my gosh, this is such a surprise, right? So think about it. The Chinese weaponized rare earths against Japan in 2010, and the Americans did nothing. Nothing. The United States weaponized the dollar against Iran in 2012, kicked them out of the SWIFT system. And what'd they do? They've built this gigantic Alipay, WeChat, non-dollar payment rail, gold, offshore yuan. Like they have an entire way. Is it fully functional yet? No. Is it as efficient as the dollar system yet? No. But it's like, I mean, Yanis Varoufakis 2 months ago called it, it's a giant 6-lane highway in each direction, ready to go. And then we said, well, hey, we're going to grab Russia's FX reserves. And people are like, all right, well, we'll start using it a bit. So like,
Wild.
It's a fascinating contrast in just how we kind of do things, which is like, oh, you just weaponize against our most important ally in the Pacific. How about them Cowboys?
It's so
like,
crazy.
what were you doing? What were you doing? And then we do the opposite. The Chinese, we weaponize our best weapon, the dollar, against the Iranians, and the Chinese build a whole second system in under 10 years. Astonishing to me.
Well, it's clear some people understand this in the administration. We made that that public-private partnership with MP, right? We took equity in it. It seems like we are prioritizing this a little bit more, and this is why some of the trade deals have sort of everything gets pushed or delayed or extended. So it makes sense that some people are recognizing that we need to do something about this, right?
Yeah, I think that's right, and I think look, there's a way where this goes that. And I really want to give the administration the benefit of the doubt, because I do think you're seeing these signs, right? The MP, the Nippon Steel deal where we get the golden share. We're starting to do a version of industrial policy, and it's kind of how you'd expect it to go. It's unwieldy. We're not China. We don't have Chinese systems, and we're trying to sort of do some Chinese things while still maintaining some truthfulness or some faithfulness to what we do best. But when I look at things like the Defense Department, who's Feinberg, David Feinberg, who used to run, I believe, Cerberus, as he's sort of right behind Hegseth. Hegseth's the face of the place, but I think Feinberg is really driving hard to bring and he knows what he's doing. They've been in that world for a while. They know how to do this. So that gives me, that's why I say, I want to give them some benefit of the doubt, because I see some people there working sort of behind the front lines that I think really know what they're doing. And I also want to give them the benefit of the doubt, because I think ultimately the way this goes is we're going to get a weekend where it's like, hey, gold's $8,000 now, and now we're going to revalue, one way, and however that happens. And we're going to devalue the debt. We're going to revalue our gold, and it's going to put $3 trillion into the TGA. And, basically we're not going to have to issue any bonds, and we're going to use that to fund reshoring or whatever. It's going to be highly stimulative, highly inflationary in the short run, but the right thing to do. And then, if that kind of thing happens, you go, oh, okay. Like they were trying to get a running start, and the Doge thing, I get they had to politically try and failed before it, they did. So I'm trying to give them a benefit of the doubt. But if they don't do that sort of debt devaluation thing, none of this is going to work. The debt's the elephant in the room. You can't do anything that doesn't blow up the bond market.
Yeah.
Because we've waited too long.